Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cancer August and September 2021 Love Connection reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot and Meaning-Based Spiritual Coaching Services. I am Lauren. Hi and welcome. So this is one of 3 connection readings I complete each month for each sign that focuses on some aspect of bringing awareness to your unique internal authentic self and how that connects to some aspect of your either external environment or to other people, which is what this reading is all about, so that you can better experience your place and purpose and that feeling of connection between your authentic self and everything around you. All right, so Cancer, we're going to get right into your reading. Now, every one of my readings does utilize the Triad of Engagement, which is a coaching tool I have developed that focuses on utilizing and demonstrating the importance of the 3 basic principles of curiosity, courage, and contemplation, and demonstrates how we can use these principles to be able to unlock awareness of our internal unique selves, which includes our needs, wants, abilities, dreams, and hopes, and be able to then connect that to our external environment to once again see where our place and purpose is and how those elements that are truly individual to ourselves can be of service to the outside world, to the collective human experience. All right, so this reading is all about focusing on the energy of love. Now, this is a little bit more of a free-form reading compared to the other 2 readings I do each month. But this one is going to be focusing again on bringing, so the first card I'm going to be pulling is going to be engaging us with the principle of curiosity. So we're going to be forming a question around the energies of this card that I'm going to pull that is going to, because this reading is general, it's for the general public, we want to help bring the messages back to you, to the individual. So the question that we're going to be creating is something that you can ask yourself as you're watching this reading, and also as you're going through the month and into September here, that you can continue to ask yourself to again bring awareness to some aspect that is individual to you, and specifically how you are connecting through the energy of love and potentially to another person. So we will see if there's actually some areas of blockages. We're going to pull some cards and just see what the general messages are going to come out. But first we're going to engage again with the principle of curiosity. So curiosity helps open us up. It helps keep us receptive. It helps keep us in that optimistic flow of energy that when you think of a very curious child, that's what we're stepping into here. But we're stepping into it in a way where we're bringing this light of curiosity inward to our unique internal authentic selves. And again, we're going to be building a question around the card that just popped out. So we have find your center. And it says, your outside world is a reflection and a manifestation of what's going on inside you at this time. When the outside world becomes so hectic and stressful that your anxiety starts to overwhelm you, then this is an ideal moment to stop and ask, when was the last time I checked in with myself? Beautiful message, Cancer. Now, you are a very intuitive sign, and that's basically your superpower as a Cancer, that you have this beautiful ability to tap into your intuition and really actually usually be able to stay centered by tapping into that. But just like everybody else, we all have the ability to at some point get a little off. And that usually comes when we are no longer checking in with ourselves, when we are getting so overwhelmed, maybe not necessarily overwhelmed, but so preoccupied with just the day-to-day tasks. So this can look like getting, having all of these checklists and, knowing, like thinking of like, okay, well, I have to do this, I have to run this errand, then I have to do that, and then I have to go to work, and then I have to pick up the kids, and we get so preoccupied by those things that we forget to check in with ourselves. We forget to feel into maybe there are some tasks that can be pushed to the next day, or we forget basically how to prioritize while keeping ourselves in mind. And I think for you guys right now, for the month of August moving into September, that a question to build for yourself around find your center is, where do you feel most stressed right now? Or when you sit and you just want to feel into your body. So this really is a card to me that when this comes up, it demonstrates two things. So the color red here really, to me, brings back this energy to your root chakra. Now the root chakra is when that chakra gets out of alignment, that's where our kind of fears bubble up, where anxiety stems from, where we start to kind of lose that sense of grounding, lose that sense of self even, because we are so basically ungrounded. So when you get your root chakra back in alignment and you start to kind of refocus on getting that aspect of yourself grounded, getting the energy in that area grounded, that's where we can start to rein in those fears, rein in those anxiety elements, because we are getting back in touch with us at a very base level. What are my basic needs? What are my wants? Where do I feel anxiety? Where do I feel fear bubbling up? So for you this month, what I would do is really focus on asking yourselves those questions. Where right now do you feel that when you check in with your emotional body, meaning just to feel into, when I'm feeling anxiety, where is it coming up in my body? Is it coming up in my heart? Are you feeling it here? Are you feeling it here? That your mind's racing, your heart's racing, your stomach's a mess? Because these are all areas that actually draw our attention to some aspect of ourselves some aspect of our environment as well that needs to be addressed. Now, this can directly correlate to the energy of love, and that love is a flow of energy that is around us at all times. It's a supportive energy. It's an energy that wants you to feel in flow, wants you to feel supported, just like you can then give support to others. And when we are off center, that's when we can start to feel unsupported, where we start to feel like we have to take on the world ourselves, or where, again, these fears bubble up, and because we've kind of lost sight of our own power, our own ability to overcome kind of any obstacle that comes in our way, that's where we really start to distance ourselves and get blocked from the energy of love. We feel that we're not supported by the universe, or feel we're not supported by our significant other. We feel we're not supported by our work environment. And then we're not able to also give love to the best of our ability and give support because we are not receiving it. So this is really a powerful message for you guys here to kind of get grounded, to get back to utilizing your superpower of, tapping into your intuition, into your emotional body, and being able to really get back to, if you can only ask yourself one question this month, it would really be, what need am I denying myself that's keeping me from feeling centered? And be very honest with yourself in this. This is one of those things where that need can be something as simple as just, I need to get rest, and I need to ask, to take a nap. Or I need extra help at work. I've taken on too much and I need to talk to my boss and have somebody else join in, and this is about being vocal about it as well. It's about asking that question to yourself, answering it, and then following up. So after we use curiosity to help open us up to some aspect of awareness, then we step into courage. And courage is where we bring ourselves into a place of self-empowerment to then start to take action towards basically controlling our experience, because we can only control our experience internally. We can't try to control our external environment. So this is where we get to come back in and say, okay, I've identified the need that I have. But now, what am I going to do about it? What are the action steps that I can take to be able to start to fulfill this need so that I can get myself back into feeling centered and grounded and remind myself that I can overcome any challenges, and also to help you be able to better prioritize those tasks that kind of build up. All right, so now I'm going to kind of move into more of the free form part here. We're going to pull some cards where we're going to get some messages just around the general energies of love. And it could bring up some area with a specific individual, or it could just be in general, just you dealing with the energy of love, and again, perhaps a block. Now, this can also correlate to the question we just asked, and it may or may not. So we'll see where this goes. All right, what does Cancer need to know for the month of August moving into September for the energies of love? Any areas that need to be made aware of? Let's see if we can get any more cards out here for Cancer. Ooh. Oh my God, Cancer, you got some beautiful cards here. So the first card that came out is the Six of Cups, followed by the Ace of Cups, followed by the Six of Wands. This is beautiful energy. This is energy that really signifies tapping back into yourself, going back. So the Six of Cups can be a card of nostalgia, but it can also be a card of going back to the past on an emotional level, connecting on an emotional level with some aspect of yourself that you then can bring forward into your present day. This is where we get to kind of tap into that childlike, innocent version of ourselves and potentially be able to bring forward a ability or a hope or dream from the past that we have maybe forgotten about or given up on. And now we get the chance to bring that forward. And with the Ace of Cups coming in here with this is new love, recommitment to love, and the reminder that we each have our own cup that is overflowing with love from the divine. And that each of us actually has this cup that is filled only with what will bring us emotional fulfillment. So each one of us has this unique, singular, beautiful cup of love. All this energy right here is love. Love between yourself and your past self and your current self, and love between you and the divine. So there is this element here of going back to revisit some aspect of your past self and bringing forward some element here, whether it's a dream, a hope, an ability, and bringing it forward with a renewed sense of emotional connection to that. Really bringing it forward and stepping into this place of love, reconnection with the beauty of self. And I think that does tie into this original message here of find your center. It's rekindling that root chakra energy of getting you back to basics of who you are, what makes you special, and remembering that and falling in love with that again. Because then we have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is a card of success. It's a card of recognition. It's a card of others recognizing you for the actions that you've taken from a place of passion. And this really, to me, this is a beautiful message here that just signifies being successful in love. There is no block here. This is all beautiful. It's almost like, for what's coming through for me, for you guys, is that there's this quality here of, again, with this shining, beautiful, full cup. There was something from the past that was almost being denied, and you've been able to reconnect with that, to rekindle that. And others are able to celebrate in that with you. So this month is really going to focus on bringing you into that place of feeling this connection with success, with how far you've come, with bringing a part of something from your past that perhaps, again, you'd either forgotten about or thought that maybe you'd given up on it. Maybe this is the element of, I was going to, pursue some passion of mine, and, I hadn't, but now I have a chance to do that, and I'm reconnecting with it. And it's reconnecting me with that feeling of remembering who I am, remembering that what makes me special, and that love of from the divine, that universal love of me, of what makes me special. And this can look like, to give a personal example, I recently gave birth to my first child, and it was such an amazing experience. And that for me was a dream that had been put on hold just due to my life circumstances. And it's something that I never thought that I would, sorry guys, I'm gonna take that off. Never thought that I would be able to experience personally, that dream of experiencing motherhood personally for myself. And that came back around to me, and I was able to experience that when I was not expecting it. It was a beautiful blessing. And that's kind of what this is. This is that element of bringing forward that hope or dream and being able to reconnect with it again, and being successful and being recognized by others for that. Beautiful. I almost don't need to clarify because this is such a beautiful message, but I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Ace of Cups because that's one of my favorite cards in the tarot in general. So we're going to read a little bit more into what you're discovering. What is this new rekindling of love? Can we get any extra clarification? Ooh. So we have 3 cards that came out. So we have the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Moon. And there's this element here of, what's coming through to me is, now some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. That's actually an energy that's very strong right now in general. Now this could, for 1 or 2 of you, a very specific message could be coming through that you're dealing with an Aquarius, and that there was this element of a relationship, possibly a marriage, and there being a lack of clarity, and now there is this clarity coming through, this renewal. And this could be any air sign. So it's not just being Aquarius. This could also be a Libra or a Gemini, and that there's this element here of, coming full circle, perhaps even seeing why a past relationship did not work because of what it's bringing forward for you now. So there is this element of possibly either gaining clarity on a relationship and rekindling that spark, that love, or realizing now the truth of why a past relationship didn't work, and why, because now you're meant to reap some type of benefit. So beautiful message here. Really what this is showing me again is that there's this quality of you realizing, perhaps again going back in time, and maybe you guys had gone through something a little bit more traumatic or difficult within the energy of love, especially with regarding a significant relationship, and again perhaps not understanding why it didn't work, or again just kind of moving with this lack of clarity, and then all of a sudden it's like ding, that's why, because I was meant to get this gift now. Beautiful, beautiful message. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one last card here for the principle of contemplation. So contemplation is where we get a chance to tap into reflection. It's integration. It's where we get to learn from where we choose to take action. So basically it's us looking at the actions we've taken and looking at the consequences of those actions, and then being able to learn from them. So this is where we build into our day-to-day life the habit of just kind of perpetual reflection and perpetual self-responsibility to what happens when we choose to take action. So this helps prevent us from getting stagnant and stuck, making the same mistakes, taking the same actions that result in the same negative reactions. And it also gets us into the practice of realizing that contemplation, just like meditation and reflection, doesn't need to be something we do once a week or twice a week in this structured setting where we have to sit there and build in time and, walk away, lock ourselves in a room and om for, 30 minutes or longer. Contemplation is where we should always be in the active process of self-reflection. We should always be aware. It builds just awareness of ourselves and how we move in our external environment. Ooh, so many cards. I'm going to take the ones that turned over, not the ones that came out. So we have 3 cards. Very interesting. We have TikTok, which is number 30. For anybody who's interested in the numbers. We have Time to Go, which is 45, breaking down to a number 9. And then we have Breathe, number 29, breaking down to an 11. Beautiful. So we have 3, 9, and 11 here for those of you with numbers. So what I'm getting just intuitively here is that there's this quality of, I think, a little bit of the stress that's coming up with this Breathe card, especially with the number 11 coming through with this card specifically. It's bringing me back to the first card of, you notice that both these women have their eyes closed. And there's this quality of going back within yourself, back within, to tap back into your intuition, to tap back into yourself, to ask yourself that question when you're sitting there like this and you're just breathing and you're just being. What need right now do you need to fulfill that's not being fulfilled, that's leading to a feeling of anxiety? And where are you experiencing that feeling of anxiety? So as you're sitting here and you're just breathing, breathe into that place where you're feeling that anxiety. Breathe into that place where you're feeling like there's just so many things and you can't quite grasp what needs to be done first. And again, use this time. So the number 29 breaking down to an 11, that is the portal between us and the divine. That's the doorway to being able to see what can be through us working with the divine, with universal love. Because I'm feeling like this is coming up and telling you to kind of settle in and regroup because there's something going on here. There's this element that, and I'm actually surprised that the Wheel of Fortune didn't come up, but I'm feeling that energy here, that there is this element of, okay, the universe is getting you ready and the energy is moving. And I do get this feeling here with the sense of the 6 of Wands coming up, with the 6 of Cups, with this, that it's almost like, okay, you got your second chance at something, and now everything's rolling. Now the ball's rolling. So now it's not going to be a lot of time. Things are going to happen. Things are going to have to change. The energy is changing. Now the time to go could mean that this is the time for you to make that big move. This is the time for you maybe to leave a job, or time for you to start that business, or time for you to finally move into that new house. This is that element of saying, here's your second chance. Now fully step in to this gift. So Cancer, this month I feel like the energy is going to be very fast. Might be a little wild with this TikTok, but it's a supported energy. I really feel like there's no blocks in love for you here this month. It's just coming through as this beautiful second chance at something. And it's going to bring you some beautiful clarity. It's going to bring you gifts. And it's about being able to get yourself grounded, get yourself back to fulfilling your own needs so that you can make this big move, so that you can step fully into this new opportunity, to this new gift that's coming back around for you. And when you start to feel a little stressed, just come back to this. Come back to finding your center. Come back to you and your intuition, your superpower connection to the divine. and breathe and feel into, again, what part of yourself. So for instance, if it's your head, if your mind is racing, this is air energy, that gets depicted in the tarot here. And that can be something where, okay, I need to realize that my mind is a little scattered and I need to bring my mind down and be at peace. What do I need to do to be able to do that? Is that where I do need to start back up a meditation practice that I have let lapse? Does this mean that I need to go outside and go for a walk to clear my head? I'm just stuck. Maybe you're stuck in the same environment and it's just building and building and building, and you don't have enough time to do something that you normally would do that helps you clear that mental space. And that could be physical activity, and you need to reconnect and recommit to that. Or this could be where you're feeling it, the anxiety in your heart in here. And there's this element of emotions coming up. And by breathing into that, this is where you can realize, okay, the anxiety is coming from maybe you not feeling supported. Maybe you feeling that there are too many things going on, or that your workplace or your significant other is not providing you with the support. You're feeling like you have to take on all of these tasks, when in reality, there's a need in there that needs to be fulfilled, voiced, and taken action on. And again, this can look like asking for additional support at work, asking for additional support from your significant other and not feeling guilty for that, asking for even support from, let's say you have a channel like this, and asking for support from your followers. There's all kinds of things that we can do to be able to voice and fulfill our needs, especially if we're feeling anxiety here on that emotional level. That's really where we're not feeling that support. And again, that can become a block in love, feeling that energetic support from wherever we are in that moment. Again, be it work, be it in our personal lives, or even be it in even maybe a hobby you're taking on, something along those lines. So, Cancer, it's going to be a beautiful month of September. I think it's going to it might be unexpected. It might be one of those things where you're moving into the month of September thinking that, maybe you kind of know what the second chance at something coming back around is, and all of a sudden you get thrown a curveball that's like, whoa, this is coming out of left field, and it's an even more awesome opportunity for you. So that's really why Spirit is asking you to get yourself grounded. Fall back in love with yourself. That's really my word of advice for you this month, to be able to make the most of this opportunity that's coming forward for you guys, is to fall back in love with who you are, with what makes you a singular being, so that it also helps you it takes you away from feeling guilty about needing to voice what needs to be done to meet your needs, because that needs to happen so that you can make the most of what Spirit's trying to bring in for you guys. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this message. I know I have. If you would like to book a personal tarot reading or a one-on-one coaching session, the link to my website is in the description box below. The other two videos for the month of August are up. I will start filming for the month of September, and I wish you guys all a fantastic month of September and a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, Cancer.